It's very easy to blame all of the financial troubles that we see today on those pesky baby boomers. They were the generation to be in the right place at the right time, and they had all of the advantages. And now they're sitting back, sitting on a ton of cash. But that's not actually accurate or even remotely true. The reality is that the number of older people living in poverty could almost double in the next 15 years. By 2040, nearly 1 in 4, or 3.9 million older people, have the potential to face financial hardship. By 2040, the number of older people who rent their homes privately and struggle with money, well, that could actually triple. A new report from the charity Independent Age, which helps older people face financial difficulties, well, they predict a big increase in poverty among older people by 2040 if nothing changes. These researchers suggest that if poverty levels for people aged 65 plus keep changing as they have done since 2010, then older people will face more financial hardship in the future. Poverty among older people will rise from 17% to 23%, meaning the number of older people living in poverty in the UK, well, that could grow from 2.1 million in 2022 to 3.9 million by 2040. This increase in poverty will be more significant for older women than older men. Currently, 20% of older women are in poverty, but by 2040, the prediction is that that figure could rise to 26%. Now, there are many reasons, including women often earn less due to the gender pay gap, and they're more likely to take time off to care for their loved ones and for others. And speaking of caring, could I ask that you hit that thumbs up button for me and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already? Thank you very much. Now, poverty levels among older people with disabilities are expected to rise significantly from 18% to 29%. In comparison, poverty for older people without disabilities will go up from 17 to 19%. Those with disabilities often face extra costs to manage their conditions, making it even harder for them to save money. It's well documented that poverty is connected to shorter lifespans, poorer physical and mental health, and higher stress and anxiety. It also costs society because the difficult decisions these older people make often lead to more health and social care expenses. There are just too many older people going through financial hardships right now, and the rising poverty levels needs to be a wake-up call for the decision makers here in the UK. Nearly 2 million older people are already struggling financially. They skip meals, wash in cold water, or avoid using light at night just to save money. It's a disgusting and terrible situation affecting 1 in 6 older people. To be honest with you, it's a scandal. And the new research shows it's getting worse, affecting 1 in 4. Is this really what we want our future to look like? If we can engage with the right people now, we can ensure the voices of current and future generations of older people are heard, that they live in a safe, affordable and secure home and have the income they need to live a dignified and fulfilling life. Now, with everything we've talked about so far, we need to keep these figures in mind. Poverty is growing fastest among older people who rent privately. By the time people are 65 or older, nearly 1 in 4, that's 24%, will be living in rented homes. The number of people aged 65 plus renting privately will triple from 4 to 13%, while fewer older people will own their homes outright or live in social housing. Among older renters with disabilities, 61% of private renters and 76% of social renters will live in poverty. Additionally, about 14% of older women will rent privately, and over half of them will be in poverty. Older people who rent privately face big affordability problems. Local Housing Allowance, the LHA, was meant to cover the cheapest 30% of rentals in an area. But it was stuck at 2020 rates for such a long time. It's only recently been adjusted. Even with this adjustment, only 8.5% of rental homes are affordable on housing benefit across Britain. There's no assurances the UK government will even raise LHA next year. Meanwhile, rent in the UK has gone up by 9.2% in the last year alone. Older private renters are already at a big risk of falling into poverty because their fixed income is mostly used up to pay the rent. If nothing changes, more of them could face poverty. Many older people depend entirely on their state pension and other financial help. It's crucial that the UK government makes sure low-income people get money they need to afford the basics. The UK government should focus on helping older people get all the financial support they're entitled to, like pension credit, housing benefit, attendance allowance, and council tax reduction. This should include a clear plan and better use of data to make sure all older people receive the money and discount they deserve. Political parties across the nation must commit to making a significant and sustained investment in social housing and in updating, insulating and modernising homes. The UK government should make sure people with low incomes can pay their rent. In England, they should change rules so landlords can't just evict people for no reason and renters are treated fairly. They also need to decide how much money people need in retirement to avoid poverty. Everyone deserves a good home and more time to move if needed. These actions can help older people live comfortably and without financial worries. A good home, well, that should not be a luxury. We all deserve to live in a safe, secure and affordable place in our later years. If you like this video, please consider watching one of my other videos here on the screen and don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.